Roric Wyrmbane and how you can win 540 raid gems? Stay tuned. Hey, welcome, I'm LeilaFox, and today's video we're going to be sharing the lore story for Roric Wyrmbane. He's the brand new Fragments champion added to Raid Shadow Legends for September of 2021. He's going to be a Fragment champ and he is a legendary barbarian. Before we get into Roric's story, let's take a look at the Barbarian faction lore as a whole. The Barbarians of Harkhan are opportunists, ever eager to offer their mercenary services to the highest bidder. When the Servants of the Corruption first came from the east with their dragon, they quickly made a pact granting them control of the region they now patrol as the Deadlands. We're going to see with the story for Roric that the Barbarians, a lot of their stories, they have a lot of legend. It's about leaving a legacy behind, and we're going to see that along with Roric's story. Also, make sure you watch this video in whole because I'm going to have instructions on how you'll be able to enter for a chance to win 540 raid gems. So let's get into the story for Roric Wyrmbane from the Tolarian Lore Book of Champions. Few things make the heart of a true barbarian beat faster than the promise of glory in battle. As children, they grew up hearing the tales of great heroes whose strength and fame alone rallied mighty armies to their side, won them immortality in the sagas and legends. Many of them live and die with the dream of one day taking their place in the pantheon of ancestors revered throughout the generations. That was Roric's childhood too. Unusually strong and built like a mountain, he bore the weight of expectations from his earliest days. His family hoped he would grow up to be a great warrior, and so, as a young boy, he oft sat at the fire, listening to the elders' tales about those who came before. It inspired him to excel at his training and aspire to greatness of his own. His skill at arms made Roric popular among the clan's youth, and on occasion, he led them on forays into the wilderness. For the most part, they hunted and scouted the land for signs of trespassers. But one fateful day, they stumbled upon a cave that had been marked with ancestral runes carved into the cliffside. The ancient script spoke of treasure hidden within, but also of grave peril. Undaunted, Roric advanced into the dark jaws of the mountain with his merry band following closely behind. Long had they wandered the cavern that had never seen the light of day until, at last, they arrived at the heart of that sprawling tomb. There, its guardian stirred after years of slumber, a pale worm, the likes of which often dwelled in the mountains. Such creatures were still common in Roric's time, and one making its nest close to the clan was a potent of disaster. Overconfident, perhaps, the young warriors charged into the fray in hopes of catching the beast unaware. That hope proved to be a vain one, and the worm incinerated 3 of the barbarians before they had a chance to strike. Roric would have perished too, were he not pushed out of the way by one of those warriors. But even so, the creature's fiery breath scorched his face. Though blinded by pain, Roric bellowed a mighty war cry and lunged the worm, swinging his hammer to shatter its skull. The fight between them was terrible to behold, and Roric had almost been eviscerated once more as the beast twisted and thrashed. Yet he emerged victorious, claiming his fallen foe's fangs as a trophy to mount upon the hammer. He returned to the clan alongside his surviving friends, and news of their deed spread like wildfire. Roric's tale had truly begun on that day, and a life full of adventure and battles lay ahead of him. Wyrmbane is a moniker well earned, for that dragonling he killed in the cave near his clan's holdings was but the first monster Roric had faced. He ventured out into Teleria soon after coming of age, seeking out the greatest beast to hunt and slay for glory. It is no surprise the Arbiter had recruited a champion of such renown, but that is a story for another time. So that was the story for Roric Wyrmbane, and as I had mentioned in the beginning, I think it fits really, really well with the Barbarian faction as a whole. Like we've seen in many stories, and we also saw in this one, they said that they live and they die with dreams of being legends, dreams of glory, and we see that happen with Roric. When they talk about in his youth, him and his friends, they went out exploring, and they probably got a bit ahead of themselves. They end up into a cavern where they shouldn't have been. Many of them him die, but in the end, he's able to slay a worm that was near where their encampment was. So while there was unfortunately some tragedy, that pretty much shaped and propelled Roric forward towards his destiny. I do also love how in the end of the story that it makes sense that the Arbiter would want to recruit him, but how it's a story for another time. And I really like that because again, Roric is going to be the fragment fusion champ for Raid Shadow Legends. And so we don't exactly know how it is that we have to collect his fragments or how it is that we're involved in saving him or adding him to our collection. So I really like how they leave that open-ended. 540 raid gems. All right, if you would like a chance to win raid gems, this is what you're gonna do. Leave a nice comment down below. Let me know what you like about the story. What was your favorite part of this? And we're gonna be choosing 4 winners on Saturday, September 18th. I'll be pulling them live on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/LeilaFoxNation. Oh, and in the comment, don't forget to use the keyword legend. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, check out some more videos up here in the playlist on the top right.